Seems waiting is not going to produce any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It existed. What? But we've just had proof it did not exist. I realise that, Your Honor. Really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? The murderer didn't need it, he had to find it. Or she. But I'm assuming Von Karma. Of course there was a need, that's why they took it. What possible reason could they have had? Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene from them is... I'm gonna say, but it's proof. Maybe they thought that the bullet would be used as proof? Proof? It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. What? That's the only way it could be used as proof. They would have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Why would they only take one of the two fired? Oh, right. Have you really thought this through? I'm going to have to penalise you. But it would be proof. Had to find it. Why? The murderer was cautious. Well, the murderer was very cautious, so that's why the murderer had to search for the bullet. Right, so that's just going round and round, so we're just gonna reload. But it's clearly evidence. Oh, flip, this is where I saved it. Alright, right, we're going through anyway, we'll just go through this one again. This is so dumb. Oh, the murderer didn't need it? That completely goes against what we've just said. Oh, it's so dumb. Yeah, was there a need? No. Doesn't that underlines my argument? Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? Murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but that's true. Had to take it. Had to take it, the murderer. So, I have to get this. I have to say something stupid. Stupid! That undermines my own argument. So that... so that Spirit Mia can save the day. My goodness. I'd say Deus Ex Machina, but she's not a god. Animus Ex Machina. I think that's Spirit. You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. If you want to tell a story where the player doesn't interact with things, tell a story. That's fine. I think I've done... Is it only one visual novel? Or have I done more? I don't know. Well, I've done visual novels. I don't mind. Because you know what you're getting. Here, it's this puzzle game, like, investigation, and then it's not. It lies. I'm sounding mad. I'm sounding completely bonkers. Right. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Neither do I. It's all right. The murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. At the time of the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. No. Are we going to have to use the metal detector? Yes, I guess that's how it'll work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping it. I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. Can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. He took time, yeah. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock? Took it because he was injured, which would only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. I've been saying that for a while. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Should I come out and say it now? I'm going to save, and I'm going to try saying it now. Your Honor, there is a suspect, one lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? Hands are shaking. For what? For what? Von Karma. Von Karma? I mean... You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with an objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery note. Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Ugh. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull a bullet out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? The bullet's still in him. Metal detector! Called it. Well, it has to be somewhere, but where? Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove I was shot? I'm going to save because I'm not entirely sure what it's asking. Show evidence. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. Wait, what? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... Metal detector. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Wouldn't this set off, like, security measures in the courtroom, and this be kind of fairly public knowledge? Thinking about it. Is that even possible for all these years? There's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, going to run this over you and see what we find. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge the bullet is still inside you? No. Well, pleading the fifth and that kind of thing is he can just refuse because he wants to. That's not necessarily... Order! Not necessarily an admission of guilt. Your Honor, defense requests we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. There's an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. He's given a warrant, basically, now. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma. You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I'm the prosecution in this game. I have no obligation to prove anything. There we go. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here. Whoa. Hang on. Is just the legal system in this game just anti-Phoenix Wright? He's the defense attorney, then the prosecution has to prove the case, and kind of now it's... No, sorry, the defense attorney, then if he's defense, the defense have to prove. Now at this point, we've basically switched to a prosecutorial role. Not I. Mr. Wright, well, can you prove it? Can you prove the bullet in Von Karma's shoulders from DL6? Of course you can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. But we do have... I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. We do have evidence. What? You were close. 1 day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. The ballistics. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. Oh, so it's Chekhov's ballistic markings concept rather than Chekhov's gun. I see. Chekhov's bullet. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. Very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you'll let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? Warg. Ooh. That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. That's the scream in his nightmares. Can't breathe. Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing in my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing in my air. Get away. Get away from my father. Ooh, ah. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma. Or Edgeworth. Only you would dare defy me. It was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death! Death! 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you'll have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth. It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from the oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge. Wait, what? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. His voice has changed again. Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. More confetti! More confetti! That is all. This court is... What about Von Karma? That's not all at all.